Welcome back to another video. Last week of May on the Isle of Man, which means one thing: the TT has started. It's crazy, the sun's shining, things are growing. Enjoy the video. Swapping over this PTO, so this is 540 spline. We're going to change it over to 1000 spline, which is here, just to run a mower on. Oh, they're a bit tight. Right. So I said I was going to show you the class in the last video, so this is the class. It's a lovely little tractor. This is actually a different mower to the other one, the topper. This is a flail mower. I've just been out to sort a field that someone might be buying off the farm. So this tractor has spent the whole winter attached to the mixer over there. Everything's kind of moved out a bit, but this is the dust making factory basically. So here we make cattle feed, well, animal feed, anything. There's some over here which someone who has pigs has, so I shall show you what it looks like. This is rolled barley, which we've been making. So that's the rolled barley, a bit like your porridge oats, but made of barley, and a bit dustier. So that's fed to up the protein in the diet, I believe. So we provide to a few farmers, and a couple of them take really big loads. You're talking 12 ton a week that they're taking. So we mill it. So this machine's the mill here. Now this isn't the pumpkin field. This is the farm that I work for, so this is just extra bits. So this is the mill, which is normally packed in next to the mixer, and then it goes from the mill into the mixer, and then we can add anything else. We add beans to it. We can add, there's pelleted feed in the back over there. We can add minerals or anything that someone is wanting to put in. We can basically do it in there. Or you can mix barley, beans, oats. That's on a funny angle, is that my head? Yeah, this is the remnants of the beans just down here. This all still needs to be swept out, and we'll get this shed cleaned up. We've just had some wheat dropped in. So this is well, not just had, this was the remnants of the last load. So yeah, but that's the class. 115 horsepower. Really nice, quite a bit of technology into it. Funky gearbox. It's not got guidance steer or anything. We don't have that down here, unfortunately. We're not quite there on it. And then just a weight block on the front rather than linkage. So yeah, I said I'd show you, and there it is. So the other day you saw me messing with that mower, getting that set up. We've topped off about 2/3 of his turnips, and it just looks like a grass field now, doesn't it? We will be doing something with this area. Now what I might do, I was just looking at some cover crops and putting a cover crop over it, which basically works like fertilizer. So we could put something on now which will mature through the season. It might have flowers to it as well for the wildlife, and then we'll plough that in before we plant. So look at something which we can plant in October. There's a couple of different vegetables which we could put in there. So still plenty of turnips sat on the surface. These I am going to have a look and see if any of these are any good. These are ones which the topper just went over. Obviously we did have a couple which didn't work very well. You see that one? They kind of rotted out inside, which this is also the reason you don't want to put the same crop back on the same area, which is why we have to have these two or three areas. So this topped off really well. I did actually raise the topper over these ones, whereas this area was lower. But this is what most of them were like, really tiny, little small. I could really benefit from some pigs or something. They would have a field day, literally, coming down here. So I do know someone who has pigs. We do work with a local producer called Little Meadow Farm, and they're up in Derby, and they grow pigs and chickens for eggs. Their pork is absolutely wonderful, and at the moment they've just got an honesty box, but they're hoping to upgrade that to a bit more of something. And we sell our produce, which has so far been limited to the turnips, because that's all that's actually ready. But hopefully in the coming kind of months, everything will start to get up there. So Derby is, if you're not from the Isle of Man, is about 4 miles north of us. There used to be a big RAF base there back in World War II. So most of the village has been built around that, of what is now Derby Centre. Yeah, so they've got a lovely little area, so I might see if some of the pigs want to come for a holiday and bring them down there. There's a few things with licensing to make sure that they know that there's going to be livestock here, but that's not too hard to do, to register it. So because I looked at getting some myself, because they will absolutely love this, and they'll go along and eat every single turnip which is in here, and then all we need to do is just plough it and then drill it, and then voila, nice good circle done. Our spuds are doing all right. Like I say, I'm not growing these commercially, these are just going in for me personally. Yeah, you can see them there, the bigger patches of green. There's quite a few weeds on here, but this is the issue with not using sprays or anything. obviously a lot better for the environment and the wildlife, but yeah, not so brilliant for your productivity. Now, this area had sunflowers in last year. It's contrary to what I've just said, we've put sunflowers again here because I want this as a boundary between here and there, and only half of them grew. So it was only this whole bottom section which grew. The top section got eaten. Now there's not as many coming up as I'd like, but I think there's enough. We're just having an experiment with doing something with the seed drill, so if I can I might try and run up through here with the drill and just put a couple more in, which will then be later flowering, which extends the season a bit, so that's good. So yeah, lots of grass to cut as well. I kind of did this bit with the big mower, so but we'll get it all sorted. Good evening. What a fantastic day it's been. Let me just slowly spin you around. Check out that sunset, absolutely amazing. It's doing fantastic. So I've just come down for a quick check to see how everything's going. So I don't think I'm going to actually water anything, but I just wanted to show you. Let me find it. Oh, we've got a torch on. The all our planted pumpkins have now got their second set of leaves, and this was just starting to get its third set in the middle. So these are the first leaves when you grow a seedling. This is what they look like. And then these are the true leaves. So these ones are what the leaves of the plant will actually look like, because obviously your first ones will look a bit funny. So these are doing really well. And they're absolutely, all of it, they're doing fantastic. You might be able to see, yeah, you can just see the line of them going along. Whoop, it's focused on my finger, all the way along there. And what I did notice the other day is even some of our where we planted the seeds rather than planted the actual plants, you can now see the line. You might not be able to see it on the camera, but there's a line of green coming up there along where the seeds all went in, which is amazing. But I just can't get over that sunset. That's the Isle of Man for you. Amazing sunsets. It's been 21 degrees today, so really hot. Hence I just wanted to come and have a look down, as lettuce is looking a little bit wilted, so I might give that a little bit of a water. But yeah, everything's coming together. Could still do with a bit of rain just overnight so that it doesn't interfere with the road closures or anything, but yeah, could look at that all night, although it gets fairly dark fairly quickly. So but yeah, all the best. Hello. With another early morning, and I don't know if you still can't see them. See, they're not coming up on the camera, but I do assure you these are the pumpkins that were planted by seed. And if I just come down this way, you can see these are all set their second leaves as well. So if you saw the short, you can see that the what the second leaf is about. We've still got quite a few gaps, but as I say, I'm just waiting for, I'm sure that the second it rains, everything's going to burst into life, including the weeds. We've got quite a lot of weeds growing down at this bottom end because it's sheltered. Leave it, Maple. It's sheltered by the trees, so you can just see the green hue in the distance. This post here is a magical mystical post which I'm using to take a photo every day of that one pumpkin plant, and then I'm going to try and put it together in kind of like a time-lapsey thing so that you can see the growth of it, which I thought looked quite cool. So yeah, still lots of gaps, but oh, you might be able to see that row. Yeah, you can. There. Where is it? There. That one. So now that we're on this side of it, the sun's actually on the right side to see them. So there's a few areas which are looking like that, and that's the right spacing for them. So as they get bigger, they should hopefully, I'll just try and keep the sun behind me. They should hopefully all grow in and fill up a nice canopy and stop any weeds coming up, is the plan. Yeah, so there's plenty going on. This week's not been massively busy. We did a load of planting the other day up there. So I think that's mostly full. We've got one more area just down here which needs something going in. And what else? I've got loads of lettuce in at home in cells, so that's something which has been done. But you've seen the video for me planting them. We're just now waiting for them to grow, and then we'll get them down. So yeah, it's not been a massively busy week. I am out mowing, well, topping and harrowing some horse paddocks tomorrow, that is actually. So I'll get some footage of that for you. And today I'm back out mowing grass where I was last week. That lovely path through that field. But you don't need to see that again. So, and it looks like the dog's wanting to go somewhere. Maple, come. This is Maple. Maple. Hey. You're lovely, aren't you? Bit mad, but lovely. Hi there, just down at the very weedy area. This is the original area, so this is where the pumpkins were last year. Now we did put in a few bits of veg, which I'll show you what's going down here in a second. We've got carrots and parsnips in this area over here. They are there, they're just kind of getting drowned out by weeds. Now this is an area which we're probably going to have to come in and weed by hand. Luckily, these rows which are really weedy here, there's nothing in them up that way. There's some lettuces down this way, which to be honest are doing terrible. Again, I think it is just because it is so hot and sunny that nothing's growing, but as onions are doing really well. So we planted onion sets up here. Let me just get rid of them weeds out there, and you can see. So this was a God, the ground's like concrete, absolutely solid. These are onion sets, which is where you plant a little bulb of an onion and then let it come up. So there's not a massive amount, but these were kind of done for personal veg rather than to sell. Definitely something I'll consider to do to sell, because they worked fairly well. Now what would be really interesting is if we could do it from seed. And we've got some peas here, which again were planted for kind of like personal stuff, but they're gonna need to be some fences in or something, because they're gonna start to loll all over the place. So I'll just put some pig wire on here, I think, which will give them something to grow up. Just don't need to be stupidly tight. There is a couple of beans in just there. God, this is so hard to do. There, up that way. So again, they could do with a bit of a fence. But then I think all that area we're just going to probably plough over and get rid of. These here are the remnants of our turnips, which have all gone to seed. So let me come up. There's a bit of all sorts. Some barley growing there as well. See that? Barley come to ear already. There's quite a lot of it actually. So really funny. Now these are all come from really small. So there's a decent size on the end, but I've not really tried too hard to see what these are like, but I have read that once they've gone to flower, you generally leave them. So now I'm going to just try its taste. So I'll give that a cook and see if there's anything, because if it tastes good and I can't find any evidence to say anything otherwise, there's no reason why that can't still be eaten. And they're very good. I'm not going to take a bite out of it now, don't worry. This is the area that we topped off. So I topped one bit low, one bit slightly higher. So at this point and here, the turnips are actually still there. It's just taken the growth off above them. And again, a bit of a weed fest, but these are our potatoes. Just a small, so there's 2 rows here and 2 half rows here. The middle 2 rows don't have anything in. They were just left to allow me to get the ridges in to start with, because I now do the ridges different to what I did there. And there's more sunflowers in here, sparse and very full of weed. In fact, look at the size of that sunflower. That was doing really well. Now, really interestingly, I'll put a picture in. From last year, I took a photo on the 2nd of June, which is obviously 3 days away from now, of this area when it had the sunflowers in. So this is sunflowers on sunflowers, this is the second time. But only half of it grew last year, so I thought that wasn't too bad. We'll go up, and it keeps this boundary between someone else's crop and our stuff, and plus it looks nice. So on the 2nd of June last year, we had tiny little 2 leaves showing, first sunflower on the show. Now we've got, if you look at the pictures up on social media, Instagram and Facebook, follow us on there as well. I'm trying to keep everywhere up to date. You'll see that our sunflowers, well, I've just shown you one there, are doing really well, considering how dry it is. So, this is his other area. This is obviously his main area, you see there? 2 really lovely sunflowers, and they're all the way down this area. We could do with more of that stuff to show, but as I keep saying, we really need some water. You can see how parched the ground is. So yeah, kind of crazy weather. I've not known it be this dry for a long time. What I will try and do is get a bit of footage of the TT, because then you know what that is. If you've not been here and seen it, it's so impressive. I'm not into bikes. I'll give it take it or leave it, to be honest, but it's really impressive watching what they're doing. And the island does get crazy busy. In past years, we've had 40,000 people come for it. Now, the island only has a population of 82,000 anyway, so we're kind of like a medium to large size town, and we're a whole country. So, you know, that makes kind of a bit of difference. So yeah, plenty going on. Weather's really good. Tomorrow I'm out mowing and harrowing a horse paddock, so I'll try and get some footage of that for you as well. Obviously nothing too boring and laborious, but we'll go from there. How you doing? So we're away at the top in now. I've brought the chain harrows down, just left them in the field over the side. So I just got the topper on the back here, just cruising around with it in A6. So what I've done is, there's the topper, kind of way, quite a long grass we're doing. We're going to get to a turn in a minute. So I've got it all on the controls here. One second, I'm just getting to the turn. So I'll try and get one of the turns when I do it on the GoPro, because I've got the GoPro with us as well. And I think I've remembered the memory card. Trouble is, there's a load of trees around the edge of this field, so I'm looking forward to getting out of the edges of it, because they're all a little bit close for this. So will sound very nice. There's one, even over the top. Now, next pass shouldn't be under the trees now. So. Now the mower's quite small. It's designed for a Cat 1 linkage. This is a Cat 2 linkage. So at which point I've got to run it. I've got quite an overlap on, because it is designed for a much smaller tractor. Now this is the client's mower. I've just brought this because it's got air conditioning. So it's definitely a in fact, the air conditioning wasn't even on. Definitely an advantage of that over sitting on the open tractor. Particularly when you've got hay fever. So, yeah. I'll try and get some footage of one of these turns. I've got to find somewhere metal to put the GoPro, because it's on a mag mount, but this tractor's not got much metal inside it. It's kind of a bit pushy. So I'll probably put it on the hinge up there. So we'll see. So slight issue. We've just broke a shear bolt, but that's not too bad because I've kind of found one. Just need to get the old one out. The trouble is, they always don't want to come back out because they shear on the end of it. So, yeah. That's the old one. The new one's a little bit long, so I'm hoping it doesn't touch anything. In fact, the new one's ridiculously long. And a little bit rusty. So if this don't work, I'll have to go get a different one. It's cleaning out. But that's now slipping, so right, so it's not going to work. So you see that need to go again. Do this. Alright, so just now progress. We have new shear bolt. That bit spins to protect the gearbox back that way if this hits something hard. Now, as it was, it hit a big chunk of a lot of grass that had built up, just enough to wreck it. So that slides through there. That goes on the end. Gets tightened up, which I brought the ratchet spanners, or a socket, or the whizzy gun, any of the above. It's a really quick fix when you've got one, which we didn't have. So that's definitely. I had to go walk across the village to go get my pickup, rather than taking the tractor, because the shop is a fair distance away. So my pickup was only on the other side of the village, so that was a 10-15 minute walk. I'll leave you around there. 10-15 minute walk, and then just a 10-minute drive up to the shop. So that goes on there, it goes in. Done. Fixed. New field, new shear pin again. So, you know what we're doing here though. Morning, another day. Cloudy start this morning, but it's probably going to burn off quite quickly just down at the pumpkin field. Today's an inset day, so I've got my eldest with us, just giving a hand, just having a look through. We've also just had a shout out on the radio, which is good for joining the early morning club, because it is now 6:45. We've been down here about half an hour already. Again, road's shut in today at 12:30, I think it is. So we've got just a few things to make sure they're right down here. Then I'm back to that mowing job, get that finished off, and then get the tractor back this way because that's inside the circuit. Everything's really starting to grow now. We've just been down thinning out a couple of these ones where there's a few things have grouped together. So we're just going to put them in, just spread them back along the row so that they're in the right place. So this here is just what I'm on about. So you can see there's 5, 6 in there. So all that's happened is the seed drill's got blocked, and we've obviously been going that way because there's a big gap this way on the row along there, but the seeds along that way. So it's obviously just been a little blockage, which then could have been a piece of mud or anything. So I'm just going to dig them up and put them along there. But what I wanted to show you was how good the root structure is. And let's just try it. So depth wise, they're definitely going in deeper than I thought, which is probably why they've not. Ooh, camera's on the angle, sorry about that, get you drunk. So really healthy plant, kind of 1 inch, 2 inches down ish, you know, lovely. Like I say, and this has always got, so these are the first leaves here, and that's makes it a dicotyledon, which is 2 leaves to start with, and then the true leaves are coming at the top, and you can see the start of the 3rd leaves in the middle there. So yeah, absolutely brilliant. So I'm going to get this planted before the wind takes it, and you can see my lad just doing a bit of weeding in the background. Thank you for watching another video. Lots going on, as you've seen. Next week will hopefully, it's race week, so I will get down and get some footage of the bikes for you. As I say, it's a couple 100 yards that way, so we'll get down. And as it's race week, it's during the day, it's not in the evenings. Lots of things growing. Hopefully we'll see some signs of them stuff we got planted earlier, and the lettuce, the rocket, and the spinach we've just put in should hopefully be doing well. That'll be on the water in morning and night. Thank you so much for all your likes, subscribes and watches. It's absolutely fantastic. World over, US, India, where else did I see? France. I think France was on there. UK, obviously, Isle of Man. You know, you're absolutely brilliant. I never thought that as many people would be watching as they are now. So let's keep this going. If you've got any questions, bang them in the comments. We're also on Facebook or Instagram. Find us on there as well. Give us a follow. You can see what we're up to on that as well. And yeah, thank you.